Cahirlock. Welcome to Minister Josepha Madigan to hear this urgent and serious issue on behalf of Minister Norma Foley over the building section within the Department of Education. In 1996, the Department of Education amalgamated two national schools in Ballinasloe. St Grellan's Boys' School, which dates to 1937. My father remembers it opening as he was one of the first students. And Sisters of Mercy Junior Infants and Girls National School, my own primary school. Scoil An Chroí Naofa was created in 1996 with an understanding from the Department of Education of a new school building to accommodate the children. The sole Deis Band 1 school in County Galway with over 280 children is still awaiting a new school building, 25 years later. A design team was appointed, planning permission was issued in 2011, extended in 2016 and is due to expire in November 2021. Still, no school, no sign of any building works. There are a number of stakeholders here, and the Department of Education is responsible for the delivery of this project. We have the Department of Education, the building section, we have the design team, we have the Schools Board of Management and we have the local authority. To my mind, Minister, there has been a shocking lack of project management and oversight here. What has been going on for the past 25 years? What has been going on for the past 5 years? Why are children and teaching staff freezing in a building dating back to the 1930s and 1960s? How is this fit for purpose? We are in the year 2021 and somehow that each delay, each lack of a decision, each time the building section and department pushes it off the priority list, well, no longer. There have been 5 boards of management, each sit for 4 years, and 5 principals over this time frame. They have struggled to achieve this project and get it across the line. How many principal officers have come and gone in the Department of Education, and yet no school? In 2016, the Department of Education gave a letter to say they were going to construction with planning approval. Why didn't the school proceed at that time? Minister, Scoil An Chroí Naofa is a fantastic school with dedicated and committed teaching staff and SNAs who, like many other schools across the country, are opening their doors today. This school takes children from all over Galway, Roscommon and Westmeath. They have an ASD class now in prefab, and they also have 2 language classes. Children with special needs are crying out for a place, and there is no space, and there hasn't been space for 25 years. There are 5 stages in construction, and there's a guide, Minister, to timelines for school buildings. As a newly elected councillor in 2019, I worked with parents, families, teachers to drive this project, and I believed it was moving to stage 3, but that's not the case now. That's not the case. The 5 stages: preliminary design, roughly 6 months. Stage 2A, develop sketch design. Stage 2B, detailed design, a year. Stage 3, tender action, evaluation and award, a year. Stage 4, construction, 2 years. Stage 5, handover of works and final account, a year. In all, by this reckoning, 5.5 years for this process. And yet, after 20 years, we are still at the stage 2B, obtaining all statutory approvals, preparing a set of fully detailed tender documents, and preparing an accurate pre-tender cost plan. Why hasn't this been completed when planning was granted in 2011? Who is accountable for these delays? Who is reviewing the monthly progress updates from the design team? And who's been paying this design team for over 20 years? Right now, Minister, we need action for close to 300 children who are in this school and who will not see a new building. The children in this school will not see a new building. And the children waiting for an ASD unit in this area will be waiting for at least another 4 years, even if we move this without any delays to get to even stage 3. 740 million was allocated in respect of school buildings under Project Ireland 2040. We now need to see urgent action here. Could I request the following from the Minister on behalf of Minister Norma Foley within the Department of Education: the current status of the design and school building project, the design team appointed, the null and void 2016 extended planning permission because it cannot be extended as there's no building works going on, the timeline for the e-tender process for construction of a new 2-storey primary school, and also who on earth is going to be the senior principal officer that's going to be assigned with sole responsibility on delivering this project. Minister, there are serious issues here, and I appreciate your commitment to special needs and inclusion. This is the only Deis Band 1 school in County Galway, Deis, which means delivering equality of opportunity in schools. I ask you, how are we treating these children equally? Thank you.
I want to thank Senator Dolan for raising this matter, as it provides me with the opportunity to outline to the Seanad the current position in relation to the major building project for Scoil An Chroí Naofa, Ballinasloe, County Galway. This project is included, I understand, in the Department's construction programme, which is being delivered under the National Development Plan. And the brief is to provide for the demolition of the existing school building and the construction of new school building to include 13 general classrooms with 13 special resource rooms, 2 speech and language resource rooms and a 2 specialist room ASD unit, which you mentioned, Senator. Planning permission was secured for this project in 2011, And in October 2016, an extension to planning was secured, which expires in November 2021. And unfortunately, I think you correctly point out that there have been a number of delays in this project, including a request from the department to make savings due to a cost overrun, the requirement to appoint a new team of engineers, a number of requests to change the brief of the project, updating of submissions due to the public works contracts, and concerns around access and planning. And the design team and the Board of Management presented their most recent brief change request to the department in March 2020, and this was approved in principle, subject to some clarifications in April 2020. The design team at that time were advised to complete a revised Stage 2B report incorporating the above brief change into the tender documentation. The design team then forwarded the revised Stage 2B report to the Board of Management for review, sign-off and onward transition to the department in November 2020. And we understand that this has not been received by the department to date due to concerns which are raised from the school. And the major building project for this school is at an advanced stage of architectural planning. Stage 2B, which includes the application for statutory approvals and the preparation of tender documents. However, while all statutory approvals have been secured, the department is still awaiting the final Stage 2B report, which you referred to, Senator, from the school authorities, and the project cannot be progressed without this. And in addition, given the impending expiration of the planning permission, it is likely that a new planning application will now be required. My department met with the representatives of the school in this month, or last month in February, at their request to discuss the options available to the school to progress this project. And my department advised the school of the options available to them, and the school authorities are to consider the options and revert to the department. The department also requested the school authorities to send the revised 2B report to the department with the school's comments for its consideration. And at this meeting, I understand that the department committed to assisting the school to progress this project. I have to say, Senator Dolan, that it does seem an extraordinarily long amount of time. You mentioned 20 years or 25 years that this project hasn't come to fruition, that it hasn't actually happened yet, but there is collaboration, and I think that we have to continue that sort of dialogue between the Board of Management, between the local authorities, between the Department of Education and with the school as well, because this is really important that these 280 children, or nearly 300 children, there's going to be 13 classrooms, 13 special resource rooms, 2 speech and language resource rooms, and more importantly, from my perspective, 2 ASD units, which is really important that we have those. And I hear your frustration, and I share that frustration, and I can assure you, Senator, that I'll be bringing the legitimate concerns and outrage that you've raised today to the attention of the building unit and indeed Minister Foley. For whatever the reasons for this delay, it needs to be progressed because we don't have any due disadvantage to these children of a DASH school.
Senator, you have 1 minute.
Minister, thank you for your response. I think it's really important that it's clear that we're getting clear timelines from the department. I would like to ask that the design team are completing current spec requests to Galway County Council to meet the safety requirements, the safe drop-off and pick-up zones, and that the Department of Education make commitments to co-fund the land that is outside the school buildings section, that new planning permission is submitted by the design team by the end of April 2021, that there is commitment from the design team to get that planning permission in by the end of April 2021 for decision by May-June by Galway County Council. Department of Education should be considering Stage 3 by June-July 2021 for this year. This school should be funded this year, no longer. It is an urgent priority, and I want a dedicated monthly meeting with all stakeholders to be led by the Department of Education with updates on timelines. This should be happening every single month to ensure that we get this project across the line. No more delays on this project. Minister, I thank you very much for your support on this. Thank you.
The Minister has a minute.
Thank you, Senator. And as I said, I share your frustration in relation to this, and I will be bringing the sentiments that you've expressed here in the Chamber to the attention of Minister Foley and to the building unit. And obviously, the design team has to liaise in a very close way with the school, with the Board of Management, to ensure that we can try and get this school built as soon as possible. My understanding, and as you pointed out yourself, Senator, the planning permission is due to expire in November of this year, and if there's any way of trying to get that planning permission or getting a start on the building work prior to the expiration of that planning permission, I think it's definitely worth trying to pursue that. If that isn't possible, then the new planning application needs to be put in early course, and that we get this school up and running. And I know your passion for it. It is a DEIS band school in County Galway, and it's important to know that there's emergency funding there as well for any minor works that are needed to keep the children safe and warm in the school. Come on, good.